Let's begin with a heart-touching story of Shri Satya Sai Baba. This is written, directed and hosted here by a wonderful anchor, Nalini Bhat.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. It is the time to celebrate Shri Baba's 65th birthday on Prashanti. Baba always emphasized that he does not need special celebrations and festivities on his birthday. Baba said in his birthday speech in 1979, "You are singing with me, conversing with me and filling your eyes, ears and hearts with my utterances and activities. This is not a mere physical body composed of 5 elements, nor is this my birthday, though you may call it thus. I have no birth, I have no age that can be counted, the eternal with neither entry nor exit, the one who neither was nor is nor will be, the immortal person free from birth and death, that effulgent Atman is Sai forever. On what day do I celebrate my birthday? On that day when all of you derive genuine Ananda in your hearts. Now when your hearts are surging with manifold fears and anxieties and torn by miseries and losses, declaring this day as my birthday seems to be barren of any meaning. I need nothing, however great or small in this universe. I am the person who has come to give, not to receive. What you can offer me is just this, pure, unadulterated love. When you offer me that, I derive Ananda."
Sai, you are our very breath, our guide and guardian, Redeemer of mankind. We promise to imbibe the 5 values of life, marching to your symphony. You are the basis of our lives. You are the reason for our living. The very essence of our lives are you.
Happy birthday to you. I have not sent any invitation to anyone. This place has been able to attract so many people because here is love which is divine, and there is that kind of heart-to-heart love. Some people perform the yoga exercises in inhaling and exhaling. They also develop the power of Kundalini. All this is physical in its nature. Inhaling is called Puraka, exhaling is called Rechaka, and holding the breath is called. This is not the real yogic power. Inhaling goodness, that is Puraka. Exhaling and giving up bad things, retaining good things in our own heart, that is Kumbhaka. This divine yoga must be practiced by every human being. What is it that has made this small village such an important place? These are all the powers of thought of man. Every sacred thought has the power to fulfill itself. It is in this context Vedanta has declared, as man thinks, so it becomes. Therefore, every human being should develop good thoughts in him. Then he will get the authority to acquire good things in life. In the name of God, with the money accumulated there, free education and free medical facilities must be provided. Noble and lofty ideals in view. We have started 100 crore rupees worth of hospital. We have laid foundation for that. 91 November 22nd. In no part of myself, whatever I do it for others. I do not consider you as someone separate. All of you are mine, mine and mine. Develop love in you. If you are celebrating Swami's birthday today, All that you will have to just do is develop unity among you. Develop the ancient Indian culture, bring it to its pristine purity. While I was coming en route, people were telling, happy birthday to me. I am always happy. There is no need for anyone to tell me. Tell people who are not really happy. I have infinite joy and have this firm faith in this divine thought, divine ideas, and sanctify your lives.
Happy birthday, dear Swami. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram. We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini.
Last week on Prashanti, we delighted ourselves in the 65th birthday celebrations of Bhagwan Baba. On this holy occasion, there was another event to celebrate, and that was the inauguration of the Hanuman statue. Sai Rama wanted to hoist his ardent devotee Hanuman atop the hill, thereby conveying a powerful message that the Lord places his true devotees in a high place and flaunts him. The story is narrated by Bishu Prishti, a sincere devotee and an amazing narrator. Let us watch.
This is the story of the most majestic monument of Prashanti, the statue that exudes strength, courage and eternal inspiration. Hanuman is symbolic of how high a man can reach when there is deep devotion and single-pointed concentration of the Lord. 1987. Shri Shilpi Subramanyam, a humble sculptor, was Bhagwan's chosen instrument to make many a statue in Prashanti Nilayam. One morning, when Shri Shilpi Subramanyam was busy working on these various statues, Swami said, on the top of this hill, make a Hanuman statue. Start right away. So the next morning, Shri Shilpi did the puja. There were no further instructions from Bhagwan for the whole of next 2 years. In January 1990, Swami asked Shri Jaikumar, the ashram engineer then, to drive him to the stadium. Further up, Bhagwan looked at this particular spot and said, I want a 65 feet Hanuman statue to be built right here. Shri Jaikumar involved Shri Tilenayakam, an honorary engineer for the university here. Shri Jaikumar also spoke to Shilpi Subramanyam, Swami's chosen sculptor. Even as the sun was rising, Swami blessed them and instructed them to start the work. Shilpi Subramanyam got to making many sketches of Hanuman in different poses. Hanuman sitting, singing bhajan, prayerfully standing. Swami carefully saw each one of them. Picked the one in which Hanuman was about to take off, holding the Sanjivani hill. Shri Shilpi Subramanyam immediately made a 3D model. He found that the statue is going to weigh several hundred tons. He went to Swami. Can we reduce the height of the statue, please? Swami immediately said, this is for my 65th birthday. It is going to be 65 feet. Swami, can we make the statue hollow, please? Because that would reduce the weight of the statue considerably. Swami flatly rejected this and emphatically said, this statue is going to last 100,000 years. It has to be rock solid. In a few weeks, Shri Tilenayakam was ready with his plan. Rolled structural steel sections with a skeleton on which the statue was to be built. Cement concrete was to be used to fill this structure.
We found weathered rock like this, unsuitable for laying the foundation. By hammering, we removed all these. To our utter surprise, we found clean, level, blue granite layer without any fault. Then we realized why Swami has really chosen this particular spot.
Fixed February 19, 1990, Bhumi Puja, that auspicious morning, Swami broke several coconuts and sprayed that water, walking around every inch of this sacred area. Swami also placed all the ritualistic items. Then Swami placed the cement mortar on the bricks himself using this blessed ladle. Bhagwan's hand now swiftly moved in circles, and what emerged was a shining, resplendent, golden statue of a majestic Hanuman holding the Sanjeevani hill. Swami said, "Make the Hanuman statue exactly like this." It was 3.5 inches in height, a lovely masterpiece. In March 1990, Mr. A. Ramakrishna, the group general manager of Larsen & Toubro, he decided to take up constructing the Hanuman statue. Now created a two-dimensional 65-feet Hanuman on the ground. The engineers used this drawing to measure and cut the girders. Swami now started visiting this site almost on a daily basis with loads of sweets, fruits and gifts. His every visit would leave the workers supercharged.
Swami directed me to place the Hanuman statue on top of a pedestal so that even people at the foot of the hill can see the whole Hanuman. Swami graciously placed his hand on the head and said it can be my height. It came to be 5 feet 4 inches, exact height of Swami. Every word and act of Swami is a multi-dimensional miracle.
Just 6 months, the 65-feet Hanuman was ready. It weighed 900 tons. Millions of tons of divine love had led to the evolution of this architectural marvel. On the 65th birthday, Bhagwan gifted this colossus of inspiration to the devotees. Swami himself stands below the statue of Hanuman. Bhagwan was declaring, "If you dedicate yourself to me, I will place you above me."
Thank you for watching. Jai Sai Ram.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini.
We have been highlighting important events in the decade from 1990 to 2000 on Prashanti. Today, our focus is on the 5th World Conference that took place from November 19th to 21st, 1990 in Hillview Stadium. The Shri Satya Sai Seva organization, established by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba in the 1960s, has sprawled into thousands of branches, leading to a worldwide revolution transforming millions of lives. The meteoric growth of this organization is in a large measure due to the regular world conferences held by delegates of the organization every 5 years at Prashanti Nilayam, concurring with Baba's birthday. In these conferences, speeches by elderly devotees and scholars, cultural programs and divine discourses delivered by Swami motivate the devotees to lead a life in tune with Bhagwan's ideals. In 1990, one such conference was held in the Hillview Stadium at Puttaparthi from the 19th through the 24th of November as a part of the 65th birthday celebrations of our beloved Lord. During this conference, several cultural programs performed by Balvika's children from across the country glorified our culture, entertaining the audience and Swami as well. This short video depicts some precious moments with Swami and devotees around as he waits for one such cultural program to begin. Swami jocularly says, "How many photos? And you don't even give me one photo." As though accepting his defeat in front of Baba's resplendent countenance, the sun seemed to set in a haste, even though wanting to linger around to enjoy the avataric beauty.
Conference gives ample opportunities for each and every one of us to present our own views and our own problems in getting enrolled in the organization and work for human welfare through community sadhana. Perhaps the human history has not recorded any event of this kind. We find here a sea of humanity as members of one large Sai family. Thanks to you, Swami. For the first time in the present incarnation of Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai, we could have an international conference of this nature,
to listen to you, to be with you, and to be enriched by your divine discourses. Bhagavan's words are sweeter than that of the sugarcane juice, that of the laughter of an innocent babe, and of that of a flower.
Baba's speech emphasized the qualities listed in the Bhagavad Gita through which one can become dear to the Lord. That devotee of mine who, expecting nothing, is pure, unconcerned, free from distress, and renounces all undertakings, is dear to me. Bhagavan began his discourse with this shloka from the 12th canto of the Bhagavad Gita.
Whichever human being has all these virtues is the dearest to the Lord. The first is anapeksha, desirelessness. Such a person who has anapeksha alone is loved by God. If you want to become dear to the Lord, you will have to do all the activity as an offering and for the pleasure of the Lord. The second one is cleanliness or purity, both internal and external. Whatever external cleanliness you are having, if you do not have the inner cleanliness, it is useless. It is necessary to keep our heart clean and pure. If you want to keep your heart pure, you should undertake selfless service. The third one is trust. Every human being should have some set goal in life. Whoever has firm resolution will be very dear to the Lord. Fourth one is udasina. That means one should not mind joy or sorrow, good or bad. You should concern yourself only with whatever you are doing is sacred. Who has firm faith that all his actions are sacred, good for the society and welfare, then nothing can shake him. The fifth quality refers to not to worry about the past and future, but to live in the present well. Such a person is dear to the Lord. The sixth one, we should not perform anything with a sense of show and ostentation. Joy and sorrow are like relatives who visit you once in a way, but they are never permanent. Service expresses divinity which is hidden in man. Therefore, man must consider service as a very important sadhana.
The concluding day was held on November 24, 1990. The leaders of the various branches of the Sai organization presented to Bhagavan their resolutions after days of deliberation on how to better practice his message and spread his love.
Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini.
On today's Prashanti, we bring you Dr. Hislop, one of the greatest devotees of Shri Baba, narrating his thrilling experience when Baba materialized a cross for him from two pieces of twigs. Time and space do not bind Swami. Baba went back 2000 years and reconstructed every part of the actual cross on which Jesus was crucified and materialized a cross for his devotee.
Story some people here asked me to tell was the crucifix. On Mahashivaratri, Swami would bring the lingam up out of some place within him, would come out of his mouth, big things. I was sitting very close to him one time. Out came this flash of light, and it was a lingam on a platform with 3 legs. What one would see would be this flash of light. Whether this power and this light came out, then immediately formed into the lingam, I don't know. But it went on for years. There came to be too much publicity about it. And people in the background would start to walk around and disturb. Then Swami said he wouldn't show the lingam anymore. Then the next year on Mahashivaratri, Swami said to me, "You be ready at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you take Kasturi in your car, and we're going someplace." So we got up to the Mysore forest. Driving around, Swami selected the place where Mahashivaratri would be celebrated. We saw a dry stream under a bridge, and Swami said, "We'll stop here." We got out of the car, walking down the bank, and as we passed some bushes, Swami reached over and broke off just 2 little twigs, and he put them like that and said, well, what's that, Hislop? So I said, well, it's a cross, Swami. So then he takes them in his hand like that, blew several really quite long, delayed breaths into his fists. Then he opened his hand and handed me the crucifix.
And he said, furthermore, the wood of the cross is a piece of the actual cross upon which Christ was crucified. Then he added, it took a little time and trouble to find a piece of that wood after some 2,000 years.
I noticed a hole at the top of the crucifix. So I said, well, Swami, what's that hole? And Swami said, the cross was hung on a peg. It's not as history says. And it was through this hole that was pegged to a post. Then we went on down to the river bottom, and we found it was a place where they burned bodies. And the people said, well, this is quite appropriate for Shiva. Swami sang some bhajans. He then brought out the lingam and showed it to every one of us. And then he reached up and pulled out a vase out of the air, which was filled with amrit. And then he reached up and pulled a spoon out of the air. Then walked around and gave each of us a spoon of the amrit. When I got back to the United States with the crucifix, Mrs. Cowan, an old-time devotee, she had the first Satya Sai bookstore in California. Mrs. Cowan wanted pictures of the crucifix to add to her inventory. We were living in Mexico. A professional photographer who was a devotee took the photographs, and he came back later with the pictures. We were all sitting around the table admiring the pictures. That was a clear Mexican sky, not a cloud. There was a sudden burst of thunder, and a big wind came, blew open the French windows and banged the doors, and blew all the curtains in the house back and forth. Everybody was puzzled. My wife said, oh, it's in the Bible. She went and got the Bible and found the appropriate passage where the winds had come into the temple and had rent the curtains. Then another time, a chap came down from California and wanted to see the crucifix. So as we were showing him the crucifix, there was like an earthquake, the whole house shook. And so then Fanabanda wanted to put the crucifix in his book, A Vision of Divinity. I wrote him the story about the crucifix, how we'd had this tremendous wind and how there'd been an earthquake. Whenever Swami goes to Bombay, he usually stops at the house of Fanabanda. All the Salvadorian people were in this great big house of the head devotee. The crucifix, I'd taken it down, was on the table. It was a bright, shiny day there. Suddenly, a tremendous thunder, and it poured rain, and the wind blew open his windows. Same thing happened exactly as it did in our house in Mexico. So it's a very powerful thing, that crucifix.
Swami had taken a tiny bit longer than usual to materialize the cross, and this is why. A couple of years later, Swami told some devotees, I went back to look for the wood, and every particle of the wood had deteriorated and returned to the elements. I reconstituted sufficient material for a small cross. Very seldom does Swami interfere with nature, but occasionally for a devotee it will be done. Dr. Hislop had the wood carbon dated in America, and lo and behold, it was 2000 years old. Swami indeed transcends time and space.
Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.